Hello, it is Rachel, and I know that a lot of us recognize that our children are struggling right now, but you might not know what to do about that. What can you say to them? What do they need to feel better or act better? So I want to give you a couple of suggestions for what you can do that is likely to help you identify and give them what they need. So the first thing I want you to do is just pick a scenario where you recognize that they're struggling. Maybe they're not doing what they're supposed to, they're not feeling in a way you'd like them to feel or you think they should feel. So maybe it's something like they're not paying attention in distance learning, they're being really bossy with their brother or sister. Just pick a scenario, and what I want you to do is something that I call the 2-chapter exercise with this scenario. So this exercise is based on those books, you've probably read them before, where different chapters are told from the point of view of different characters. So the book may be talking about one situation, but one chapter is told from the point of view of one character, another situation is told from the point of view of another character. I want you to do that with the scenario that you chose. So the first chapter I want you to think about is your chapter. So if your child isn't paying attention during distance learning, I want you to think about what this is like for you. So your chapter might be something like, my child knows they're supposed to sit there and pay attention and do the schoolwork, but they keep getting up or asking me questions or complaining, and it's really frustrating. That is your chapter, and your chapter matters. That's why I want you to start there. The next thing I want you to do, though, is tell your child's chapter. What is this like for them? So from their perspective, this may be something like this. I sit down to do my online class, but it's really boring and I just can't pay attention to what my teacher is saying, and I just feel the need to move my body and get up. I almost can't help myself. That's your child's chapter, and their chapter matters too. And if you want to think about what they need, you have to really understand what their perspective is. And once you've thought about their chapter, the next thing I want you to think about is, if I were in that situation, the one I just described, the perspective of my child, if I were in that situation, what would I need? What would I want someone to give me so that I could do better? Now, if your child is anything like you, or you are like your child, very likely what you would need is what they would need, and that can help you identify what it is that they need. If your child isn't like you want to ask yourself this next question, which is, well, my child isn't like me. They might not need what I need, but given what I know about my child, about what's helped them in the past, about what approach I've taken in the past that works, what do they need given their point of view and what they are going through? Now, if you still can't figure out what they need after you've asked yourselves those questions, don't worry about it, because I have another suggestion for you. Once you've taken their chapter and you really understand, I would casually and briefly walk up to them and let them know that you understand what they're going through. So you might say something like, I realize when you sit down to do your class, it might be really boring and hard to pay attention, and your body just might need to get up and move a little bit, and you're not supposed to, so that's really hard for you. They might not all of a sudden say, yes, Mom, yes, Dad, you're right, and then tell you what they need to do better, but that's not the point. Just telling them that you are trying to see their perspective, just showing them that you care what this is like from their point of view, even if you can't figure out anything else they need, just doing this, I promise you, is something that they need as well. We don't very often see things from their point of view. We're just trying to tell them about our point of view, but seeing their point of view is something that they need when they are struggling. If you have any questions about this, I would be happy to hear them. Feel free to post below this video. If you want more information and support to help you figure out what it is that your kids need, I encourage you to check out my Parenting Academy, where I have lots of information and support about figuring out and giving your kids what they need. You can check that out on my website, rachel-bailey.com/parenting-academy. I'll be back again soon with some more tips for you. Take care.